My name is Sean, and today I am going to be walking you through this test. Now, before we begin, I have some information to give you. You already have an idea of why you're here, but let me go over it again in a little more detail. We're going through a process of redesigning IMDb, the Internet Movie Database sign, and so we're having users do different tasks with the site to see how they interact with it. And so that's what you're doing here. The session should be about 20 minutes. The first thing I want to make clear is that we are testing the site and not you. So you can't be wrong. You can only be you. And I'm going to ask you as much as possible to think out loud. So like whenever you're clicking on something, like if you're clicking on something, say why you're clicking on it or like what your thought process is as you're moving around the site. This will help, and don't worry about my feelings. I don't care. I didn't design the site. So if you have any questions as we go along, ask them. I'm not going to be able to like tell you what to do, but whatever, ask questions. And then hopefully this microphone is working. And there's also a permission slip to give your consent to this recording here. If you want to see it, here it is.
Thank you.
Do you consent?
I do consent.
Okay. Perfect. So we can now begin. Opening question. Before we go to the site, I'll just ask you first, what do you do here?
So I'm a graduate student at Quinnipiac University. So what I do, I guess, would be being a full-time student.
Right. How many hours a week do you say would you use the internet?
I would probably say, I don't know, 50 to 56 hours ish, about 6 or 7 hours a day, probably.
Good, solid chunk.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's it for the question. So first, now you can go and you can click on the thing and you can search up IMDb.
This?
Yeah. Okay. I cleared my cache, so. All right, so good. So first, I'm going to ask you to look at this homepage and tell me what you can make of it. What strikes you about it? What do you think you can do here? What's it for? And just look around and give a little bit of a narrative about this homepage.
Yeah. So the first thing that sticks out to me is the color. The dark interface, the dark black color stood out to me right away. I'm not really sure why there's a gap in between the search bar and down here. Maybe it's for some advertisements, but that's also a little odd to me. But this looks fairly, easy to see what the website is. It's clearly for movie ratings, and there are videos about said movies. But yeah, it's not the fanciest or best website I've ever seen in my life.
So now that we have that, we can move on to the meat of this, which is the tasks. So for our first task, these are going to be some hypothetical scenarios too. That you might have to pretend you're somebody or not. But you and your friends are visiting for the weekend, and you want to see a movie, but you're all drawing a blank on what you want to watch. One of the friends mentioned that the most recent movie you watched, Baby Driver, had some cool cinematography, and another movie similar to that might be cool. So using IMDb, find Baby Driver and find another movie with cinematography by the same person.
Okay, so I'm just going to use the search bar on the top and type in Baby Driver. I think that would be the quickest way. So I'm going to click on Baby Driver now, and I think I'm gonna scroll down and see if there's anything that says movies like this, or you might like if you watch this. But as I'm scrolling down, I do see that where it says more like this. So I am going to click one of these. I'm going to click on John Wick. I don't know if this is the same cinematographer. I'm not sure where I'm going to find that. You need me to find that, right?
Yeah.
Is Edgar Wright, director and cinematographer, the same thing?
No, those are two different things. Cinematographer is its individual selection.
Okay, I'm not too well versed in movies, so what I'm going to do is Command F and type in cine. Okay, so that didn't work. There are no results when I typed in. All right, maybe I'm going to click the cast and crew. to see if there's anything about a cinematographer. Struggling to find that. I'm going to click filming and production details. Company credits. Am I getting warmer?
I think so. Your Command F strategy would work well on other pages, probably.
All right, so it's not that. Venezuelan company. I'm not gonna lie, Sean. I'm not really sure where to get from here. Is there anything you can help me out?
So now, task number 2. We're just gonna move on.
Beautiful.
This should work without the pro. You just saw the movie Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and you really enjoyed the dynamic between Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter, and you'd love to see another movie that stars both of them. Using IMDb, try to find a movie that has both those actors in it.
Very nice. I heard you say Johnny Depp. Who was the other person?
Helena Bonham Carter. Bonham Carter.
Johnny Depp. Well, Helena. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Johnny Depp here, and I'm gonna look at his acting credits. And the movie. What was the movie? It was
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not in his filmography. Is this a recent movie?
It's an older movie.
Okay, so we're going to Command F again. Sweeney Todd. Oh, here it is from 2007. We're going to click on said movie. Cast Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Those two.
So I'm looking for a way to find the more movies that they acted in together.
Yeah, and if there's a way to search something like that on this site.
I don't know if there's a way to search something like that in this site. Maybe if I type in celebs, but I think that'll get me away from movies. Because I think that's more gossip area. Maybe an advanced search? People. I searched both of their names on IMDb, and I think I got Helena Bonham Carter, but I can't say I got anything else that is worth the time for this. Cool. I found a collaborations tab where I can type in two people's names. So Johnny Depp, and then name 2, Helena Bonham Carter. So this is going to give me the ability to see where both of these people are. And I see that they were both in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland. I did not know that. But now I have more movies where I can see this dynamic cast work together.
Perfect. Cool. That worked as intended.
Nice.
So now we will move on to task number 3. You should go back to the home page to start off. I realized that. That's fine. So you've watched many movies in your lifetime, and you have your favorites. But what would you like to do is you'd like to organize those movies into some large lists that you could easily access. You'd also want to mind sharing said lists with the world. So using IMDb, use it as a list feature to create a list that has some of your favorite movies in it.
Using list feature.
Yeah, because you can create accounts on this.
Gotcha. Okay.
I forgot my password, so you're gonna have to create an account.
On what?
On the site.
On IMDb Pro?
Yeah. No, just normal IMDb. There you go. Sorry for the spam email.
That's okay. I'll reroute it. As long as I don't have to pay for it, I don't care. Wow, this is a tough puzzle.
Whoa.
F, B, G, E, G, V.
Well, that's recorded. What the hell? That's weird.
Now I have to verify my email address.
So
So I'm going to take this.
professionals.
All right, I am in. So now I'm finding the list tab.
Yeah, create a list of your favorite movies.
Your lists. I'm going to hit the create a new list button. All right, list titles. So a classic movie that I like is Happy Gilmore. This description. Favorite. Oh, it's the title of the list. Favorite movies. My favorites list. So I'm going to make this list visible to others. So now that I do this, I'm going to add some movies to this list. So Happy Gilmore is a classic. I like The Blind Side, a very classic movie that pulls at the heartstrings. How many movies can we put on this list?
5 works.
Okay. Classic movie 2. Monsters Incorporated. Finding Nemo's a nice one too. And another movie that I enjoyed watching. This Is the End. All right.
Is it other thing there? Is that just like saved?
So yeah, so I saved the list order, and before this I hit done. So now, favorite movies.
Oh, that's easier. Okay. Nice. All right. So that's 3.